Somebody said talk about Soulja Boy's verse on. Yo, I didn't watch the Donda thing. Let me see Donda. Shit. Donda to Soulja Boy. Let's hear his verse. How much y'all want to? Y'all think that's gonna make it to the final version? I don't know if that's making it to the final version. By the way, I think there's gonna be like 3 listening sessions again. I don't know where the final one is. Trust me, the final Donda. And by the way, I don't know if they're even delivering the STEM shit right now. Are they delivering the STEM shit? Are they? And even if they are, does it have the album as is? And then he's gonna change it. Does that shit have Wi-Fi to like update? The point is this: I think he's gonna do like 2 more listening sessions. He might just end again in Chicago. I don't know if Soulja Boy is going to make it. And I think if I'm thinking how he has this whole STEM thing set up, I would say if I'm Ye, you don't pick if Soulja Boy makes the album. You let the fans pick. You get me? On STEM, I don't know if you know, right? Let me go to stemplayer.com. Stemplayer.com. So, let me show y'all a video. Okay, this is a video of how it works, right? Now, I say that to say, I think if Kanye's really smart, and I don't know how the capabilities of this thing, everybody who recorded a verse, why pick who makes the album? Let the fans pick. You got 15 verses for the song. You let the fans pick who's going to be on the album. Don't that sound genius? Yo, it's 15 verses. Who do you want? Oh, you want Pusha T on the first verse and Soulja Boy on the second? Cool. You want Fabio Foreign on the first verse and then Jay-Z on the second? Cool. Like, that's the really dope thing. I think, I don't know if it's the capabilities there yet, but that's dope. It's like, bro, at that point, you just make art. And you stop worrying about this whole, you know how people used to say, like, oh, this album would have been a classic if you took this song off and this song off. Or this album would have been a classic if you didn't do this here. This album would have been a classic if you didn't have this one annoying thing. Okay, nigga, it's a classic based on what you want it to be. You pick the fucking song. You pick the fucking, like, oh, you don't like the fact that they got that little, whatever the fuck they might have in like an instrument. Turn the shit off. Oh, your favorite artist is Cardi? You want to hear Cardi doing, like, ad-libs do the whole verse? The verse, mute the verse, just only leave the ad-libs. That's genius. That's where I think STEM comes in. There's some, like, performances or some songs I wish, like, I could, like, isolate, like, just, like, oh, the vocals here. Like, damn, that sounds beautiful here. Or sometimes, like, like, I feel like, oh, that could have been like a little solo for the instrumental. Mute the vocals. I think that's dope. I think it's dope. You're not paying $200 for Donda, though? Well, that's what we haven't known yet. We don't know what other albums could be used or, like, played. Like, how do you put an album on this thing? Because I'm assuming it doesn't get it from a cloud. So you'd have to, like, do the old school iPod method with it, which is importing music. Which that sounds so, like, not easy. It's the reason why niggas stream. I remember, like, having my laptop and having to go back and forth. And I'm like, oh, I got to go put on these new songs. So I got to go download this album. Let me get the dirty version. Let me get the clean version. Let me like, import them to my laptop. This and third. Oh, shit, Future's dropping an album. I got to do it for that song, too. Or those albums, too. But now if you know, like, just overall, like, if it's going to be there automatically, that's different. But then what's the infrastructure behind it? You see, STEM is going to be cool, but there has to be an infrastructure behind it in terms of, number one, it has to be just like how Spotify is, right? Where the STEM infrastructure, they don't only receive, because right now when artists submit songs to like DSPs, you submit an MP3 or a WAV file. And that wave file is not broken down into tracked out versions of the song. And stem, like, I know you guys maybe don't know production too much, but stem is basically, like, the stems of a song is basically a song tracked out. You know what I mean? And what I mean tracked out is you hear the ad-libs here, you hear the first verse here, you hear the punch-ins here, you hear the trumpet on this, like, particular track thing. You know what I mean? And you could, like, mute it, you could turn it up, you could isolate this. Like, that's how engineers and, like, people who arrange songs kind of figure it out. But now you're getting that whole capability in your hand. So if we're saying that this player should have other songs, then Kanye has to have an infrastructure that work with other people's music. So then they got to approach record labels. I know Kanye owns his own shit, but you wouldn't buy this only to listen to Kanye's song. I think you'd want to listen to much more of the music. So Kanye would have to go to Republic and say, hey, Republic, how about y'all put Drake's song or Drake's music on our shit, but the submission process is not just Drake giving us a WAV file or MP3. We need Drake stems. Now, what's a Drake stem? Now, clearly, but by the time we get to that point, and I'm not accusing nobody of reference track, but like all those shit's out of the, like the stem files and like the tracked out version. You know, sometimes it's muted when niggas like export it. You might understand what I'm saying, but it makes sense. But now, shit, who knows how Drake sounds when Drake doesn't have a lot of pads and, you know, 40 crafted his sound to be sounding perfectly in that loop of music. I don't know if they're doing it like Ye, where it's like, hey, any part of Drake's music is meant for you to hear him a cappella. Like, they're mixing his music that his music should sound good with the instruments around. Like, that's why Jay-Z always say, your music is, like, your voice is an instrument too. So how do you kind of work that? Like, how do you work a Travis Scott when Travis Scott might be like, yo, hey, first of all, the person mixing my music with the auto-tune, the auto-tune key is matched by every 4 bars of what the beat is. So honestly, I'm going to need the beat in the background or I'm going to sound stupid because my voice won't sound right because I'm going to different keys, but you're not hearing the beat. I'm making some of this stuff up, but I'm just showing you some, like, you know, hurdles that Kanye has to go through to get this onto, you know, get other people's music onto it and to make this really big. For his music, Kanye already tells you he works like, this is him basically having a hard drive because he keeps saying he changes stuff left and right. He might like the drums on one song today, tomorrow you don't like it, the next day he gets somebody to change it. Well, if it's on a stem player, you could isolate the drums. You know what I mean? Shit, who knows if the stem player could around like this, where maybe you could do a remix with songs where you're like, yo, listen, I like the drums on Girls Who Want Girls or the 808s or whatever the case is, but I don't like the ones on, oh, I'm going to jail tonight, so I want to switch the 808s. And if they're the same BPM, I could just like put that over the track. I don't know how the capabilities of it yet. You get me?